It's about time.
What's up guys, and welcome to this week's Top 10, where we count down the top 10 worst superhero games ever made. The following games on the list sure are super shit. So let's kick off our list with number 10, and it's Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. No, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of the Fantastic Four series at all. I think the movies suck, so I didn't have a lot of hope for this game, but boy oh boy, did it really fall below my already non-existent expectations. You get to choose between one of the four Fantastic Four to play with, but sadly all their abilities add up to just boring, generic gameplay that should never have existed. Fantastic Four, my ass. Next up on the list, and it's one that really grates me because I am very much Team Iron Man, and it's Iron Man 1, the game. How do you cock this up? The game practically makes itself because you have so many cool weapons and gadgets to use, and yet you make a terrible open world, boring, highly repetitive action game. They even somehow convinced Robert Downey Jr. to voice his character, and they still cocked it up. No wonder he said hell's no to the sequel. Next up, and sticking with the Marvel Universe, and we have Thor God of Thunder. Another repetitive generic beat 'em up that just cashes in on the movie's license. After a game this terrible, I don't blame Thor for lying low for a while.
I guess I'm just taking a break. We had this really cool adventure saving Earth, and I was pretty happy. Anyway, so I needed some me time, and I came to Australia, and that's when I moved in with Daryl.
Hello.
And here we are.
Next up on the list, and we have the amazing SpiderMan II. Now let me give you the simple ingredients to making a good Spider-Man game. First of all, you gotta let Spidey web sling wherever the hell he wants because he is Spider-Man. All they had to do was copy Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2. It was that simple, but they still cocked it up. Hopefully the new Spider game returns Spidey to his former gaming glory. Next up on the list, and we have Batman and Robin. I actually enjoyed the movies. I was pretty young, so I got a kick out of them, but the game was absolute drivel. I mean, really it was. Just to show you how far we've come, take a look at Batman and Robin on the PlayStation 1. And then take a look at Batman Arkham Knight. Damn, that's a good looking game. Up next, and it's another game based on a Marvel character that I cannot believe they cocked up because he is so damn cool, and it's Blade, the Daywalker. How do you take a movie and a character this cool and make this? Assholes. Next up on the list, and it's an entry that surprises no one, Catwoman. I'll tell you what, this movie was so bad, I'm surprised they even got a video game deal. Nonetheless, they did, and it was 10 times worse than the movie. Platforming was terrible, combat was worse. The best way to describe Catwoman the game would have to be rubbing shards of glass in your eyes. It's pretty bad, but it's not as bad as our next game, Spawn the Eternal. Take a look at this hot steaming pile of poop. Spawn handles like an old rusted Sherman tank from World War II. In fact, I think the tank might actually rotate a bit quicker than him. Every single combat encounter felt almost identical. At least the name is accurate. It sure is Spawn, a spawn of ass demonry. But luckily Spawn is not as bad as Aquaman, also known as Arthur Curry. I hear you can speak to fish. The game was Aquaman Battle for Atlantis, and it was absolutely terrible. I'm just happy they gave Aquaman a new lease of life in the new DC movie, because he actually looks pretty sweet, unlike this hot turd. Which brings us to our number one hot stinker of superhero games, and that is none other than Superman 64. Woo! Hoo-hoo. This game is bad. Like, whoever made this game never watched any of the movies. Not only were they like, no, let's not have Superman fly around Metropolis saving people, let's have him fly around a virtual world because we are way too lazy to try build a city. The game was riddled with bugs and slow, terrible gameplay. You're supposed to be Superman, but this game made you feel like a sack of potatoes flying through the air. In fact, that probably would be more fun. But anyway, there you have it, guys. Superman 64, the worst Superman game ever made. That concludes our top 10 worst superhero games of all time. If you agree with my list, let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to tune in next week for another top 10 coming at your first.